So you've started your journey in performance or performance-based or competition-based shooting, and you want to know some things that are going to help you perform better that are outside of shooting and inside the gym. So you've come to the right place. What's up, guys? My name is Rob Epifania. I'm USPSA Grandmaster, and I'm the owner of Systematic Performance Concepts. In this video, I'm just going to share some things that I do for my physical training that I found have helped me over the years. So, first thing for me, strength training has been a component of my life for a very long time. Since I was 19, so about 22 years. I'm 41 now. I have done strength training anywhere from 2 to 5 or 6 days a week. Currently speaking, I am doing 2 days a week, so strength training for me is a supplement to good shooting right now. Getting myself strong enough so that I'm able to be more explosive, able to move is very important. So strength training has been a staple for that. So right now, currently 2 times a week, I'm generally doing full body style exercises. So things like squats, things like pull-ups, things like deadlifts are very, very important pushing exercises. So bench press, dips. I am doing some stuff for shoulder supplementation, largely just lateral raises, that kind of thing. Nothing crazy. So day one is, for me, I do 3 sets of each. 8 to 10 is typically what I do, sometimes 12. Day one is squats, bench press, pull-ups, Nordics. I also do calf raises in this case because I want to be able to support having good foot health. That's very important as well. I do something, a deadlift variation called the Jefferson curl. So for me, my back is typically pretty tight. So what I try to do is I try to expose my back to more deep ranges of motion. This is not an exercise that you're supposed to do a lot of weight on, so I don't. But the idea is that you allow your body your back to fully kind of round over with a reasonably light amount of weight compared to your body weight, in the interest that in that position of full stretch, you're able to stabilize your core. You're able to inflate your abdominals and abdominal cavity and be able to utilize that weight. That's very similar to what we typically would do. You're picking up a box. That's how a lot of people get hurt. They get hurt because they get into these compromised positions and their body is not strong enough to handle it. So they end up compromising their form. In some way, you're going to pick up a box, you're rounded over, and they don't know how to support and stabilize their abdominal cavity, which stabilizes their back. So that's an important one that I do as well. So I'll do regular squats, I'll do pistol squats, I'll do bench press, pull-ups, Nordics, which is a version of a hamstring related exercise. You essentially trap your heels on the ground and you lay yourself down, pull up. It's very, very challenging exercise, quite honestly, but it's a very, very good one. Yeah, so that's usually day one. And then day two will be barbell row. So a standard barbell row. It'll be a stiff-legged or Romanian deadlift. It'll be some just supplemental shoulder work. It'll be dips in another version of squats, usually like a Bulgarian split squat or something like that. Those 2 things have worked really well. I'm working real hard on maintaining a full range of motion because that is very important in what we do. I would say in the shooting sports, full range of motion is more important than raw strength, although both are very, very helpful. My main focus in these exercises is trying to maintain a full range of motion and build strength within that full range of motion. That has helped me tremendously over the past few years. Now, something I've added in over the past year is running. I used to say I ran 0 miles. Now, this is February of 2025. January and February, I've done just about 100 miles each month. I run 6 days a week now. During the season, that will drop down to probably 5. But the idea is the same. When you're practicing running, you're doing a couple of different things. You're building your cardiovascular capacity, your endurance. And if you think about what we do on the range, as much as we have short spurts of high activity, we're walking all day. It's not uncommon for a major match for me to walk about 9 or 10 miles, which is a tremendous amount. And that wears on you, especially if you're out in the heat and you get a little dehydrated and you're back and forth and back and forth. So I took on running as an opportunity to build some endurance. Now, for me personally, I had my motorcycle accident in 2010. I started competing in 2018, but I can't lift my right foot from that accident, along with a bunch of other trauma that I had from it. Running for me is also an opportunity to gain confidence just in running. So because I have to wear this brace and it holds my foot up, knowing that I can run aggressively, run fast, that helps me mentally be able to do more of it in a match. So I'm able to be a little bit more aggressive, run harder. The way that I'm currently doing running, the last thing, running in and of itself is a mental test. Because you're uncomfortable for a certain period of time, it really challenges you to be able to break up how much you're doing it, and the slight discomfort to moderate discomfort to a lot of discomfort, quite honestly. Break it up into chunks and be able to manage that properly. By learning to run and running for longer periods of time, you build a lot of mental resilience that you may not have had before. And that's confidence inspiring as well, especially in a match, especially in uncertain situations. When we've built up the ability to, hey, I can handle this, it starts to develop your mind to become more resilient to uncertain, unfamiliar situations, because we're able to break it up and we're able to break it into chunks that allow us to succeed. So with that said, this is the way that I'm currently running. I run 4 days a week, 6 days a week total, but 4 out of 6 days are what I call what is called low heart rate training, where I'm specifically keeping my heart rate under a certain number. In this case, I'm using MAF-based training, which is 180 minus your age. That's supposed to be the heart rate that you're supposed to use. And in that case, I run for the duration of time with the intention to keep my heart rate at or under that number. Now, in the beginning, that's very, very challenging. If you've been a runner before and you've never tried this, it's quite frustrating. My wife is currently going through this because she's in low heart rate training as well. And it is a very frustrating experience in the beginning because your pace slows so much. For me personally, I find it enjoyable because I like numbers. I'm an engineer. And I started running. So I just started running. So I had no ego. I had nothing. How slow it was how slow it was, which is the biggest challenge for most people. So 4 days a week I do that. It builds your endurance. Like, you learn over time, your heart rate lowers for faster speeds. And it gives you time in your head. And quite honestly, it's fun. I don't mind it. Like, it's a nice, easy day. And it gives me the opportunity to just be able to think about things, process things. Now, 2 days are more speed work based. So one day is more speed, where I have a goal pace that I'm tending to hit. So my 5K pace that I'm using, that will be the main focus. So it'll be intervals at that pace or better, with rest breaks in between. So some set number of repetitions at some duration at this pace, with a set rest in between, 75 seconds, 90 seconds, where I might walk, I might recovery jog. The purpose is to be able to recover quickly between the intervals so that you could push yourself harder. Okay, usually 15-minute warm-up, 15-minute cool-down, which for me, 15-minute warm-up, 15-minute cool-down means I'm going to take an entirety of 15 minutes to run a mile. My warm-up is I'll walk for 4 to 5 minutes, and then I'll jog the rest of it really easy. And that gets me in the best shape to perform. One day is either a longer set of intervals or a long run. So the long run for me at this point is 1 hour and 40 minutes. The intervals involved with this, so like last Saturday I did this run, and it was warm up for 15 minutes, 5-minute interval at faster than conversation pace, which is considered easy pace, which is considered low heart rate pace for those who don't have a heart rate monitor or chest strap. Faster than conversational pace, which for me ended up being about an 850 interval, 850 per mile pace. 5 minutes, recover for 90 seconds, 4 minutes, same pace, recover for 90 seconds, 3 minutes, recover, 2 minutes, recover, 1 minute, recover. So that's an interval style, a longer interval style workout for what I'm trying to do. The long runs, again, could be anywhere from 90, 100, 110 minutes, 15-minute warm-up, 15-minute cool down, and then the majority in that easy range to gauge. That's usually my test. So the test is a 5-mile easy pace test to see if my fitness is improving. So that has been a huge staple for me. The thing that I like is continuing to improve is a lot of fun. Being able to run faster, again, I'm able to build more confidence in my running. And I know that I can go for a long, long period of time without getting tired. That has been a tremendous benefit to me. Again, I used to say I ran 0 miles. Now I'm considered a runner. So I've found that part to be, quite honestly, more enjoyable than I expected it to be. So those are two things that are really, really, really working well for me. Another thing that worked well for me is cold plunging. So cold plunging, there's a bunch of different benefits for it. What I personally did it for building the mental toughness, because I did not want to go in that cold water. I was afraid of it for a while, quite honestly. And I remember the first time I went in, I felt like I got punched in the stomach, and it wasn't even that cold. It was about 60. It was hose water, and felt like I got punched in the stomach. But once I got control of it, I felt this rush of emotion, rush of a euphoria of emotion, whatever. And then the goal was to try to bring it down. So cold plunging became a staple for me personally. I got down to the point where I'm in 42-degree water and do it for about 3 to 5 minutes a day. I would also use that time. What I liked about it is just learning how to master that. The discomfort becomes very, very valuable. So I would use that time also to practice breathing techniques. I would also use that time to practice visualizing my best performances so that I can really focus on that meditative style of just training my mind in discomfort. So felt pretty good doing that, right? Your body feels very interesting. Also, I noticed I'm a lot more tolerant of the cold now. I can go out in shorts in cold weather and not really care that much, whereas I couldn't do that a year ago. So those things have been super, super, super important. So that is my current physical training regimen. It's been working well for me. I plan to continue to do it this way for a long time. Hope that helps you guys. Again, this is my experience. I'm not an expert or professional in any of these fields, but I am forever a student, and I really enjoy learning a lot about myself, especially when it comes to physical and mental side of performance. I could say this too, the more voluntary discomfort you're willing to put yourself into, the stronger and more resilient that you will be, especially when it comes to times of uncertainty. So adding something like this into your life is going to be a highly valuable thing, even if you start at a smaller variant. So when I started running at 2 to 3 days a week, and I talk about this, under committing a little bit to what you think you could do so that the extra that you would have normally done becomes a bonus. When I started running at 2 to 3 days a week, 20 to 30 minutes, 2 to 3 miles, whatever that might be. Anywhere from 20 to 30 minutes is what I started with. I remember the first day was actually 45 minutes. I think I did 3 miles at a 15:20 pace, right? The goal was real easy running, right? So 145 beats per minute heart rate was the average that I had for that run. And now I did the same run recently. Well, actually longer. I did a 5-mile test run in cold weather, which affects your heart rate more. And my heart rate was a couple beats lower, and it was also a 12, 13 pace. So over that time, that easy running accumulates and really builds a lot. So I started off 2 to 3 days a week, right? 20 to 30 minutes. And over time, for one, it's become more enjoyable and I want to do it more, to the point where I'm doing 100-mile months now. And now I'm running 6 days a week. And I want to continue running 6 days a week. That's the funny part. So guys, even if for you, depending on wherever your fitness level is, whatever it is, right, start at a place where you can commit to it first, undercommit a little bit so that you can get the habit established. And then you're going to be able to start to build up more and more once you've become consistent with the habit. You could say, okay, now I'd like to add another day. Now I'd like to add another 10 minutes. I'd like to add another day of strength training. Whatever that is, that's going to help you be successful and keep the promises that you make to yourself. Again, keeping the promises to yourself and choosing some sort of voluntary discomfort, those things are going to be tremendous in your growth to success. So again, this is just the way I do it. I hope you guys found some value out of this video. If you did, and if you have questions, if you want me to elaborate on something more, feel free to let me know below. Guys, have the best day. Thanks for watching.